hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm here with an idea and I've got a lot of noise going on here, so I'm trying to, let me see if I can close out some of these tabs. And then that might help with some of this. Let's see. Am I live? Yeah, I am. Hey, Betty Ann! I'm closing out tabs to kind of cut down on the noise. Had a lot of background noise. So, all right. I think I got it now. It's quieting down. I had all kinds of Word documents open and tabs open, and I went, oh, too many. It's making too much noise. Oh, well. Cloudy day here today. Supposed to get some rain. I think most places are. Hey, Renee. But that's okay. We need the rain right now. So I don't mind spending the day in my craft room playing. So love working in my studio. But I struggled with what to use for today. And then I thought, well, I haven't used, I'm late to the game. I got Friends Are Like Seashells just a week or so ago. I loved it, but I didn't want to buy it unless I knew it was going to carry over. I can't purchase things that I don't think will carry over. So, I mean, every once in a while I will because I really like it, but I just, so I'm late to the game for that one. So we're using that one today. And I came up with a really cute card. I was inspired by one I saw on Facebook. And I modified it and adapted it because I didn't have all the pieces. And I learned something new, which I didn't know. I was kind of like, what? I wanted to use certain shells from the set. And I thought, well, it'll have dies to cut them out. Wrong, it's all one piece. And of course, naturally, I needed this shell and this shell. So I stamped them thinking I could use the die to cut it out, and it doesn't cut it out. So I said, okay, I fussy cut them. But it was like, and I looked at this one, there's no way to cut this one apart. So I figured, okay, whatever. Next time, and I even used the die after I had stamped them to cut it out, and it was just a mess. It was easier to fussy cut. So that's what I did. I ended up fussy cutting them, but, we all have to learn a few things. I make the mistakes so you don't have to. But it's been awful quiet around here in my Facebook Lives and my Zoom craft alongs. Nobody's showing up. So it's like, okay, well, I'll keep doing the Facebook Lives because I know I get views afterwards. And I know Saturday morning can be rough for some people. So I will do those. But I don't think I'm going to do the Zoom craft along anymore. Nobody's signed up for it. The last couple of times it's just been Barb and I, so I figured, well, Barb and I can go on there and just Zoom with her if she's in her craft room, and we can chat without having to worry about somebody else coming in or anything. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything in that Monday time slot. I don't know. I don't have anything on my page on Mondays or in the evenings. I'm toying with it, so we shall see. But hey, Vicki, glad you joined us. So we'll see if I may try a couple of Monday nights for a month and see how it goes. If I get people come to watch, then maybe I'll continue. But we'll go. I'll still keep the Saturday ones because I like this idea, and I might come up with a cute little name for Monday and. Like Monday Make It, or Make It Monday, something, I don't know. Who knows? I just have to formulate it here first. But other than that, I hope you have your beverage of choice and are you ready to, hey Linda, haven't seen you for a while. And that you'll sit back and relax as we play with this stamp set and come up with 3 cards. I have to say, I really like my WOW card. The stepped up version isn't too much different from the WOW, but there are some changes. And I like the WOW card. Oh, you know what? I didn't get my blending brushes. I'm going to put my tea down, get my blending brushes, and we'll get started. I knew there was something I forget. Each week, I don't know what it is. I forget something every week. So, what does that one say? Well, that's not the one I need, but I do need these. All right, so I grabbed my blending brushes. I've been on a blending brush kick lately, but I don't know why. All right, let's go to the hand view. And like I said, this is the stamp set we're using. And I'm specifically using this sentiment, this seashell, and I thought there was another one. This one. So it's this, this, and this. All right? So let's get started. Here's my clean and simple card. Quick, easy. Now, I can tell you a few things if you want to make it a little bit different, but I will share that with you. And I did stamp this with crumb cake, but this was soft suede, so I think I'm going to do the sentiment this time in crumb cake. In soft suede, and see what it looks like. Now, I did create masks for my images, but I ended up only needing this one. So I have these 2 if I ever need them. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in a piece of scrap paper. Move this over here so you can see what I'm doing. Put that over there. And I'm going to take the dots and I'm going to create sand along the bottom. So I'm just going to stamp it along. It's really, dots in the sand. And what I can take and do with this one, I kind of should have flipped that so that it filled in that space. So keep that in mind when you stamp a row, flip it so it does that. All right, then I'm going to take, and this is where I'm going to change this up. This one was really plain. So, Linda, I was telling everybody, I just got this bundle. I wasn't going to buy it. I'm going to add some crumb cake, and it does take it a while to build up on your blending brush. So this one doesn't have this, but I think it needs something. So here's a way to step it up a little from the Clean and Simple. And it's still a Clean and Simple card. I try for my Clean and Simple cards to not use too much ink. So see, that just adds a little bit of something, something. All right, now I'm going to take my crumb cake and I'm going to stamp I can move this out of the way, stamp my shells on here. And I'm going to stamp this one first, right there. And I hope I haven't put that too close, but we'll find out. I can adjust it if need be. Oops, I'm going to put my mask on top. Then I'm going to stamp my little guy, and he's going to go over here. And by stamping him first and then masking him, he's going to be in the front, whereas the other 2 will be behind it. All right, let me see. Get that. Oh, you know what? I should have stamped that. Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I've got the crumb cake. I thought I had the wrong color. was like, daggone, I used the wrong color, but I didn't. All right, so there's what we have. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to go back. This one I'm going to do in soft suede, only because I think this one is lost on there. So, Linda, I can't wait to get the other stamp set that's in the new catalog that's seashells also. So there's what we have. Oh, that looks crooked. Is it crooked, guys? Tell me. If it is, it's one of those things. It's in the front of the catalog. And it's called, it's not one that I missed at all when I went through it. That's the first one I put down because I just knew I had to have it. It's called Seascape, and I just love it. It's got coral and seaweed and some more things for the ground, some fish. So I think that will pair very well with this one. So that's the one I'm going to get. Most people have their catalogs by now, but we're still not allowed to show it. So there's that. Now, to me, it still needed something. So I wanted to add my twine, my linen thread, which I don't know if you've noticed it. This one is more of a gray, whereas the one we had before was a brown. So I'm going to pull in, and I'm going to show you a little trick here. This is the trio die, and if you use this punch, this end, and I have to do this on the table because I don't have the strength in my hand. You want to put it in, and you're putting the folded end in, and you're putting it in about halfway, and you're going to punch it out. Then what you have is you have a way, and I hope I have enough thread, and I bet I don't. I looked at it and said, oh, I got enough. Then you've got a way to thread this through your card. Okay, come on. And wrap it around and tie it. Whereas you really don't have a way to do it if you don't, give me a little bit more. If you don't have a layer to put it on top. All right, now I'm going to tie this in a knot. That was another thing. I don't know, it just, to me, it didn't. I'm going to cut this only because it'll tie better. So I'm not, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. Oh, and I used to use the linen thread a lot. All right, I'm going to hold it in place, pull it tight. Okay, there, this one's a little bit tighter than that one. All right, hi Fran. So glad you joined us. All right, so there's the clean and simple card. All right. And like I said, I did add the sponging down here because I think I needed it. And I changed the color. You can see this one is crumb cake. This one has no sponging. This one is soft suede, and this one has the sponging. So there's the clean and simple card. All right. I'm going to leave this one here because all of them are based on that. Okay, are you ready? Here's the stepped up version. Now, I did not have the embossing folder, so I pulled out the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder and used it on the back. So the other thing you could do if you have the dies is you could cut out this that large image. Cut this out and just kind of lay it over here to the side and have, you know, just, you can kind of cut around it and have these pieces back behind it, which I might try. All right, so there's the stepped up version. All right, let's move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in my pieces. Okay, my base is crumb cake, which is a nice brown. All right, and to that I'm going to add my, this is a piece of white. All the measurements will be posted after I'm done. And I've just, like I said, embossed it with that textile embossing folder. And then I'm going to add some double-sided tape because I just think it holds that panel on. Excuse me. With the embossing on it, you get hills and valleys and plateaus, and it's not like a strong strip of glue all the way across. So here we go. All right, we've got that. I'm going to add that to my card base, and then we're going to create our panel. I have to tell you, I was doing this the other night and I hadn't burnished this end, and when I went to do this, the whole strip came up. I got halfway across and went, whoa, wait a minute. So I had to put it back down and then burnish it. So make sure you burnish those ends. That's another reason why it doesn't stick real well. You can tell, because if it did, it wouldn't be pulling up like that. All right, so we're going to add this like so. All right, so there's our card base. Then I took a piece, and this piece is 2 5/8 by 4, I think. Yes, 2 5/8 by 4. I'm going to pull back my piece of scrap paper. I'm going to find my dots, and I'm going to stamp my dots. Ooh, you know what? I didn't stamp my dots. Oh well, we'll try this one. I'm going to stamp my dots across the bottom. I used crumb cake on this one, but let's try it with the soft suede. I need something over here. There we go. All right, so we've got that. Oh, never mind. Guess what? We did it wrong. Oh well, let's try again. First thing you need to do is you need to stamp your images, because if you don't, you end up with dots on them. And I didn't do that. So, good thing there's always 2 sides to the paper. Get this out of the way. It's making a... All right, and I'm going to stamp it there. And I'm going to cover it up like so. All right, then I'm going to come in with the small one, and I'm keeping the layout basically the same. You can change the layout if you want, but I opted to leave it the way it is. All right, so there's our shells. And now to make sure we don't get dots on there, I'm going to mask these other 2. And I used my favorite removable labels to make these. All right. And I'm going to stick with the soft suede for this, because I had I'd used it, and I don't want to put this in my crumb cake. It'll mess up my stamp, or my ink pad rather. All right, should have gone up a little higher. Let's see, there we go. All right, so now we've got that. Now I can do my sponging. Ay, 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 ay. I do this all the time. All right, I'm going to come back in. And this one's not too bad because I've already primed it. So I can put down my crumb cake, and then I want to make sure I've got enough down. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. Now, to do the top, I'm going to use Bermuda Bay. All right, I'm just going to flip it around. And again, this one's going to have to be primed. Now this one, you're going to have to be careful with, because as you can see, it gets blobby. I did it a couple of times there. So make sure you start all the way off. And as another hint, I have a tendency to ink my stamps up in the middle. If you do that, use the corners for your blending brushes, because there's a lot of ink there. And I'm just going to keep adding the ink till I'm happy. And I want to make sure, see how I've got lines? That's because of the way I sponge, so you can get rid of them by just going in the middle. There, let's see. Oh, I like that. So I'm going to stop there. Oh, wait a minute. I think I need to go down a little bit further. I'll use the middle. Ah! See what I said? Oh, I should have stamped it off, and I didn't. Let me see if I can make it darker on this side. Kind of blend that a little bit. There we go. Some heavy water there. Hey, Marlene. Oh, just put my hand in. Now I'm going to use my soft suede and my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp that. Oh, that's the wrong sentiment. That's one I used with the butterflies that's in there. It's "You Are Unique and Completely Amazing." That's a great one for the butterflies. All right, there we go. It doesn't look too bad. It's a handmade card. It's going to happen. All right, I'll get rid of this and pull back my, I think I'm going to run out of linen thread. We'll see, maybe not. This one's not that big. And then I'm going to wrap this around twice and tie a knot. And I wrapped it twice just for a little bit of interest. Whoops, I didn't take my masks off. You guys were telling me to do that, weren't you? All right. There we go. Got it off. Thanks, Vicki. All right, let me see. Now if I can get this tied. Oh, you know what I didn't do on the other one either? Did I trim the ends on the other? I don't remember if I did or not. And it's okay if the thread goes over itself. Now, I couldn't do this on the other one, but see how this is loose? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of spread it a little. I did this on the Wow card and it looked a little better. Pull it down some. But this is really loose, so I'm going to turn it to the back. And I'm going to take some double-sided tape. And I'm going to pull this end and put the double-sided tape down. I have to trim that piece. And then I'll pull this end and put the double-sided tape on it, and that will tighten it up on the front. So now I have it nice and tight. I'm going to trim that off because it cut it a little too long. There we go. And I'm going to trim my ends. And then this goes on the card, and I've used my Fun Foam. Hi, Colleen, because I wanted it popped up. There's a lot of surface area, and I really like when I pop my things up to have them be supported all over. I'm going to add this down here, and I piece this to use up all my scraps. All right. Like so. This goes on here. I've got a little bit of wiggle room. All right, then I'm going to put glue on the back of this. All right, now. And then I'm going to put this on my card base. I've got to remember to put it the right side up, like so. All right, and I've centered it. And then to make sure that that glue sticks, I'm going to put a block on top and set this aside. So I'm going to move this back behind me so that glue will hold and set. And now we're going to take this card and we're going to step it up. So I cut out my shells on this one, and I use the stitched rectangles on this. And basically it's the same card, just with a few little changes. So let's get started with this one. All right, I'm going to put my card base together, like so. And I use the same embossing folder. Now if you have that, I think the seabed one would look really nice with this also. I know that there's the one that goes with this stamp set, but there's another one called Seabed, I think it is. And it has seaweed and all on it. So I think that one would be nice on the back of this. So there's lots of options between this and the new set coming and the two embossing folders. I don't know if the Seabed one is a new one or not. I'd have to look to see. But I do know that there's the one that you can take and emboss, and then that big piece fits over top of it. But is the Seabed a new one? Let's see real quick. Sorry I can't show you the catalog, guys. Seashells is the ones that goes with this. Well, see, I don't see the Seabed one in here. I don't know which one I was seeing. Maybe Seabed retired. I don't know. Is Seabed in this one? In this one. Let's see if it's in here. I changed the book around, so I never know where the embossing folders are. I missed them. Now that we only have one page, it's easy to miss. But if you have that Seabed one, you could easily use it too. Here it is. There, see? It was new this time, but apparently it's retiring. But if you have that one, that would look really nice on here. Oh, Seabed went with the Whale Done. See? But now you can mix and match your sweets. Thanks for keeping me straight, Linda. All right. But the Seabed apparently didn't carry over, which is a shame because I think it gives you more versatility. You got two different. I like the Seabed one better because it doesn't have holes in it. I think it would look better with this than the other one. But I may end up creating my own embossing folder using the other stamp, the other die, and making my folder from that. Okay, so then I took the stitch rectangle framelits, and I'll show you which one I used. It's close to the same size. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So 5 out, 4 down. And created this. And this is my panel that I'm going to do the same thing I did on before, but this time I don't have to worry about anything because I'm using my stamped and cut out images. I'm gonna go across the top rather than the bottom. Let's see. Here, that's better. Flipped it. Okay, so now we have our sand, and we're going to add our crumb cake on the bottom. I think this is my crumb cake one. Is it, or is this one? I have 3 over here. I think that one's clean. All right. I just wanted the one, this is the one I've used because it's been primed. And it goes faster if it's been primed. I also did a little trick with the large shell with this one. Oh, I've got, how did I do that? Oh my gosh, it must have been on my hand. Well, I'm not flipping this one over. I'll hide it. All right, here we go. And as I'm going down further so that it gets lighter, and then the next time I won't go down as far. That line, if you watch, it's where I stop over here when I'm sponging. That's why you get that line. And that's why I go back in and fix it. And I'm going to show you how what I did was I had it darker over this side and lighter over here, but this time I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to put it darker here and lighter there. I did that on the other one also, just to give it some interest. All right, so now we've got our water, whatever you want to call it. Let's put our sentiment on. There we go. And I use soft suede for both of those just because I think it showed up better. All right. Now, time to wrap our linen thread around, and this is all I have left. Oh my gosh. What about perfect amount? Okay, hold on. I want it crisscross, so to speak. Oops, this way. I cannot believe how this turned out. I had just the amount I needed. I'll get that straight later. I want to get this on first. There we go. And this one I took and spread it out some. Woohoo! Now I just have to find another spool of linen thread in my stuff and add it. All right, so I've got that. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to use my fun foam to add to the back. Excuse me. And you do have to be careful to get the edges with this, especially when you have that linen thread there so that it sticks good. And I'm going to add some more to the back. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to add this to my card front, like so. I'm going to take my block, put it on top, and let it just sit there. Is that crooked? A little. Yeah. You have to be careful when you put your block on that it doesn't turn out crooked. So then I stamped all my images, and like I said, this one I think had a die, but these two, I tried cutting out with that large die. It just didn't work, so I fussy cut them. But to do the shell in double colors, I inked it up first with Pale Papaya. Then I took my crumb cake and a sponge dauber, and I sponged around the edges, and I left open that area there. So that's how you get that double color in there. Thought it would be fun to play with Pale Papaya with the new colors. All right, I'm going to add the dimensionals on the back of this because these go on with dimensionals, and then I'll take and take that block off and add it, or add these. But I think it would be better if I did it this way. It gives it just a little bit more time to grab. All it has to do is grab, and then you're good. I think I want one more right there, just to play it safe. All right, yeah. Take my backs off, and I'll have it all ready to go. And then I can So you guys have some fun plans for the weekend? I've got a lot of crafting to do. I've got a couple of classes I'm working on. I've got to get finished up so I can post them. All right, and then this one I put over here, like so. And there's the stepped up version. So I went from clean and simple, that was a wow version, sorry, to stepped up to wow. So as you can see, the layout is basically the same. I use the same images. I just added a layer and some embossing, and then a die cut, and just some sponging. Oh, that'll be fun, Linda. So there you have it. There it is. My first play with this stamp set. I have not played with it at all. And because I used my what do you call that stuff? Masking paper, repositionable label, I can save my masks and use them again. I have not decided if I like this or not. I have a hard time reading these things backwards, so I take and flip it over and look at it and say, okay, especially when you got two like this that are close together. So I've still saved it. I know that the reason why they did it, but it's like, I don't know. So no decision on that one yet. So we'll have to see. Oh, thanks, Betty Ann. Oh, did some things fall? But I try to do cards that, I think people would need and everything. I'm going to grab my tea because I need something to drink. All right, let me go to the face view. All right, ladies, there it is. I hope I've inspired you, and if you have this set, you'll give it a try, and if you don't, find something else that'll work. Anything that has a small image will work. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Betty Ann. I know that feeling, though. I've had that happen in here. I got to get my room cleaned up because now that the CDC has lifted the guidelines and people can gather as long as they've all been vaccinated, I'm going to go back to my in-person classes, and they all have to be vaccinated, and I can only do 4 at a time. So it'll be limited, but at least then I can continue to do these things and have some fun. They've been doing the card kits, the no stamping card kits, but that's a lot of work on my part. So I didn't raise the price, and I probably should have from my regular class, but that's okay. It was a service I provided them. All right, ladies, I'm going to get ready and go because, like I said, I've got a lot to do. I still have to get my newsletter out. I haven't done that yet. That's just a matter of putting it all together. And I'm working on a product share. I'm going to be doing an in-color share and a DSP share. So I've got to get that ready to go because I want to put that in the newsletter. So if you're get my newsletter, oh, you're quite welcome, Linda. You'll get all the information first. All right, ladies, have a great weekend. I know we're all supposed to get rain sometime this weekend. For us, it's later today. So good day to play in your craft room, studio, and organize it like Betty Ann, or just have fun. I will see you on Thursday in the group at 7:30 p.m. Bye.